A
Amazing, bro.
Duke.
Can you hear me
Yeah, I
clearly?
can see you. Can you see me?
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, I can.
So I wanted to say when okay, so I've been thinking about this quite a lot, ne? And yeah, the reason why I wanted us to discuss it, obviously because of the conversation that we had. But
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking about why certain things, like certain problems that people have, like they're so multi-layered. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the other day I heard a mom's friend of mine, right, or someone, yeah, my mom's friend, tell him by Excel like go buy electricity, yeah, and he got so pissed off, and I couldn't understand why, yeah, and he came up with all
Mm.
sorts of reasons. He came up with all sorts of reasons and stuff, and then I remember I just couldn't stop thinking about why it made him so angry just to take him by, yeah,
Yeah.
and and I realized like it couldn't have been like just electricity that's the problem, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So 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 I was like, okay, cool. So like on the surface you have that main question of Moteng Umbane, ne? But then Umbane doesn't, like when you buy it today, it's not like gone, so there's no like it's still gonna be there. It's
Electricity.
finished,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
right? It's finished tomorrow. So then it's like, okay, well, what are you gonna do tomorrow? Maybe that's the actual question is what are you gonna do when electricity ends today and tomorrow and the next day,
Mm.
right? So that's like so you have okay, I there's no electricity, go buy electricity. But underneath that is okay, so then what happens when it ends again? What are you gonna do then?
Mm.
Right? And that also has another layer of okay, but then that means that then you're gonna keep having to buy it, right? And keep having to buy it means that you need to then have a steady flow of money to buy it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which then ends up into a third question of how are you going to get a constant amount of money to buy electricity every single time
Mm.
it finishes?
Mm.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
you're like, okay, fair enough. And then the question then is, okay, well, we've got three layers already, right? Just from getting that top layer, but then the third layer, you can even break that down and say, okay, so the way that you can do it is that you can go get a job,
Yeah.
right? Because then a job will keep giving you constant flow of money every month or however you work to keep buying
But
electricity every single time electricity ends.
do you think it's a money problem though?
So look, so this is the thing is that so okay, so going back to what I was trying to say to answer your question, right? It's like so then it goes to okay, well, you need to go get a job so that you can
Yeah.
keep buying electricity, right? Okay,
Mm.
or you can move out, right? But then that doesn't solve the problem because then you have to go get electricity elsewhere,
Yeah.
right? So then the job problem is not sorted. So then you have that layer say as the fourth layer, right? And then you have other layers underneath there which then say, okay, well, how are you gonna get a job? You're gonna have to work on your CV. You might have to take a job that you don't like. You might have
Mm.
to you might have to accept job offers that you don't like. You might have to
Mm.
keep working every single day and sacrifice the weekdays of work so that then you can keep paying electricity every single time you pay
Yeah.
electricity. So it goes
Mm.
all the way down from like buy electricity to, hey man, like you need to work on your insufficiencies to buy
Mm.
electricity. It's not just it's not just a dollar thing or 20 rand thing or whatever currency you use thing of let me buy it now and then it's done. It's a
Yeah.
multi-layered problem. Yeah, and
Yeah.
then from that, I was like, okay, well, that's actually how a lot of problems that a lot of people have all the time manifest. It's like
Mm.
you have that surface issue, and that surface issue could be whatever it is, right? That you are at a job that you don't like, but then that's not really your problem. There's a lot of other problems that are underneath it that have to be rectified first before you can even think this is the problem. Yeah, well, it's sort of like if you're living in a house, right, and there's water that's seeping through the cracks, right?
Yeah.
Problem is, okay, let me go and take a towel and close the and damp the water down, right? Cool, your problem solved. Not really, because maybe there's a tap that's overflowing that's going to keep bringing in water. So then that short-term solution doesn't work. So then maybe your solution then is to go switch that tap off, right? Which is the underlying thing, right? But then maybe the tap is working properly, right? But then maybe it's the drain that's the problem that then keeps the tap overflowing. So then you have to then go and fix that, which is the tertiary problem. But then that problem, again, is maybe the underlying issue to fix all the problems. Yeah, well, so I was thinking about it, and I was thinking, like, a lot of people, like, you go through so many problems in life where you think your primary problem is the actual problem or is the solution to the problem, whereas it's not. You know what I mean? Because, again, going through all of those things, it's like getting a job is the solution to other things, perhaps, but then you actually need to then go back and do the matric that you missed to get the job, because now that job requires a matric. But then if you go and do that, that matric is something that you missed maybe 10, 15, 20 years ago.
True.
Yeah, well, so then to do that, you have to kind of collapse 20 years of your life to say, I need to start from scratch, you know? And then that's not easy. But then even then, doing something like that, going back 20 years might not even be the issue. Because then you might find that it's because you're stubborn or because there's no financial backing, for example. Yeah, well, because you're stubborn, because you have no financial backing, because you're not a person that likes to do things like go to school. That's the actual problem. So that whole thing is innate. It's actually not the problem of you not being able to buy electricity. It's the problem of you're just not, you need to sort out the problems inside you as a personality to then fix that main problem that you have. You know what I mean?